Hello YouTube, how you doing on this beautiful Saturday? I was like, let me do a quickie, let me do a real quick video. Is that too much light? Yeah, it's too much light. I don't need it. Yeah, so I wanted to do a quick video of a combination of Charisma Monet video. She's a YouTuber, shout out to her. She did a story about how she let her cousin move in with her, and I just seen an Instagram post about Soul Food saying, oh, she's the victim, and she was not. Terry, I'm gonna get into that real quick. So those of y'all who's 90s babies, 80s babies, I was born in 89. There was a movie called Soul Food, and Terry was an asshole. She was, and let me tell you how she was. From the beginning of the movie, she telling people she paid for the wedding. If you're really a genuine person, you don't need to tell people what you paid for. That's first and foremost. Nobody wants to know that. And Terry was just an all-around bitch. Let's keep it real. She was a bitch. She was the type of family member that you make a mistake, she look down on you. She act like her shit don't stink. They actually have a scene with her and Boris Kodjoe in a series, and she takes a shit and he makes a joke like, oh wow, it's because she really acts like that. Like, Terry is an asshole. In the series, I start to feel sorry for her with certain things because Maxine is the villain, and she's like, oh, why you want Ahmad to be ashamed of where he lives? Why are you allowing him to have his party? I don't know if y'all seen that episode where he's turning, I think, 13 or 14, and he goes to like a prep school with like white kids. So naturally he wants to have his party at Terry's because Terry lives in a really nice area. And so the mother is upset by this, and she's like, well, why would you encourage him to have a party at your house? You know it's wrong. And she's like, what are you talking about? And Maxine was like, oh, Maxine was jealous. Like, you could just tell in the series, very, very jealous of Terry. So I do feel sorry for Terry in the series. But in the movie, I wanted to talk about a couple of things. I seen Soul Food at the age of 9. And first of all, you have to support your man. Even if you may not agree with his decision, it's important to support your man, ladies, because if you don't support your man, he'll find somebody else who will. I know for me, if I want to do something and my partner doesn't want to support me, then fine, I'll move on. But the actions of the husband is only human nature. Was it wrong for him to sleep with his cousin, with her cousin? Yes, that's nasty. You should never do that. But you never allow the devil to come into your space. At the end of the day, she knew that this cousin was irresponsible. She knew that this cousin couldn't keep a job. So why would you let her in your house in the first place? And I've been there, done that. I've been living on my own 11 years, and family members wanted to move in with me, and the answer is hell no. Because this is the thing. When people see that you on your own and stuff like that, they want what you have. For me, I don't have much, but people want to be in your face and in your space. And you, as a person, you have to set boundaries. Terry never set no boundaries. Terry never said, now she did tell her, oh, you need to get a job. But why would you let somebody in your home and they don't have a job? That's number one. Which means it's going to be even longer for them to get their shit together. Number two, you don't let nobody around your husband. Because at the end of the day, if something happens and if he innocent, you're going to be suspicious. It's just very messy. That's something you just don't do. If anything, be a resource. That's the best thing you could do for anybody, is to be a resource. I can never see myself opening my doors to nobody because they'll never leave. And even my own family members, a cousin of mine was like, don't let nobody stay with you, family or friend, because once they in, they'll never leave. They'll never leave. And I wanted to talk a little bit about Charisma, her situation. She let her friend stay with her. That was a disaster. She let her cousin stay with her. And I wanted to talk about that since we talking about family. Her cousin called ACS on her, a false report. She almost lost her kids. And this not having ass bitch, she didn't have no job. And Charisma helped her get a job, 2 jobs. And then the third one, she just was a no call, no show, so she lost that job too. So anybody who don't have a job, don't want to work, don't let them stay with you. You know, what made her finally kick her out is because she was being rude to her kids. That was the final straw for Charisma, but it shouldn't even take all that. Never open your home to no one. Under the sound of my voice, y'all gonna regret it. If y'all let people in. I don't care if it's your parents. I don't care if it's your grandmama. You don't let nobody in your house. You know why? Because then they're gonna take over. They're gonna feel like it's their house. They're gonna feel like they could do what they want to do. No, we not doing that. We not doing. The only person I would let, like my son is 14. If he grows up and he moves out and he falls on hard times, of course you can come back anytime. Of course. But I would have limitations, and I still would have rules as to you have to be employed and you have to help me out. And if that's a problem, then you can't stay here. Like once he gets, I feel like the age of, because you know the economy is bad, I feel like to really be obligated to help your parents out if you live with them, I feel like 23, 24 should be a good age. Because by then you should either have a career or a steady income where you could give your parents some money, put some food in the house, something. You know, 18, 19, 20, 21, you still getting your shit together. But by 23, 24, you know. So, yeah, with Terry was a bitch. And my favorite scene is when Bird sets her straight. Like, you need to worry about why your husband is sleeping with her and mind your own business. And Terry caused that. I don't care what y'all say. It's Terry's fault that her husband fucked her cousin, because at the end of the day, the way she treated her husband was horrible. You don't talk to nobody like that. That was so mean. He telling her in confidence. First of all, most men, let me tell you about men. When they want to make a career change, they're not going to tell you. Most of the time, they're just going to do it. They don't care about your opinion. So the fact that he was man enough to come to her like, yo, I'm not feeling this lawyer thing. I'm trying to be a full-time musician. As a wife and as a partner, what you're supposed to say is, you know what? I don't really agree with that, but maybe you could still do the musician thing as a side hustle. Maybe you could do both. Like my father, he did both. He was a 911 operator and a musician, right? When you're a musician, you getting money, right? You getting gigs, you getting money. So as a wife and as a woman and as a partner, I would say, babe, you making more money as a lawyer. Can you just do both? Like, can you just not be, you know what I'm saying? It's a way to talk to somebody. Why would you, the way she was talking to him in the movie, it was like, what kind of wife are you? Even though it's just a movie, but that's terrible that you have black women that's like that. And that's the problem with a lot of black women, is because they don't know how to treat a man. They don't know how to talk to a man. They don't know how to support a man. All they know how to do is put a man down and tell the world how they help that man. You don't do that. Oh, I did this for him and I did that for him and da-da-da-da. He don't appreciate. But you talk to him like he's a dog. You talk to him like he's a child. You cannot do that and expect positive results. It's not gonna happen. Even if he stay with you, he don't really want to be with you. Like, his heart is not in it, because you already tore his self-esteem to the ground. Who wants that? And so for people in the comment section to defend that shows that they are toxic women, because any good woman could look at Terry's character, and that's just an example of what not to do as a wife. You don't do that. Even if you don't agree with his decision for his career change, is a way you talk to somebody. Like, listen, I think you should rethink this. You just made partner. Maybe you should rethink this. And then on top of that, Terry had no reason to not support him. It's easy. If he got a gig somewhere, you go. You don't not go, because then when you don't go, you open the door for the devil to come in. And it's really that fucking simple. If you as a wife, as a woman, you not supporting your man in his endeavors, somebody else is gonna fill those shoes. It's really that simple, you know. And I know how it feels, because I remember with my last dude, I went to a poetry club and I did a poem, and he didn't come. He's like, oh, I'm not coming. What reason do you have to not support me? So when the next nigga come and support me, that's your fault. And I will feel no ways about it. You should have been there. Oh well. So I feel like same way I felt when I was 9, I feel at 34, that's her fault. A lot of affairs and infidelities could be prevented if you just do what you need to do as a partner. This way you don't. Now sometimes you could do everything you need to do and they still go and cheat, but you need to do everything you can to do what you need to do as a partner. She was not a wife. She kept belittling him and putting him down. She was putting the cousin down too. All she had to do was like, yo, you need to get a job. All the extra putting somebody down, when you send out negative energy is going to come back to you. That's why I can't feel sorry for Terry in the movie. Not in the movie. In the movie, she was a bitch. Like, she was Terry, you know, telling people, oh, why are you marrying an ex-con? If that's how you felt about their relationship, don't pay for the wedding. I know for me, couldn't be me. I don't respect women who, you know, want to get with a bad boy, a jailbird. That's what you want to do. Don't ask me to pay for. She should have never paid for the wedding if that's how she felt about their relationship. And then you pay for the wedding, and then you invest in the shop, and then you want to tell everybody what you did. That's horrible. And then she's the victim. Terry was not no victim. She put herself in a position to be the victim, because you don't do that. If you have a genuine heart and you're a genuine person, you don't have to tell everybody what you did. You don't have to do that. Now in the series, we see a different side of Terry. We see Terry, how Boris Kodjoe, he dogged her out. That was wrong. Yeah, there's a lot of things that Terry goes through that's not her fault. Maxine is jealous. Let me tell you how Maxine was able to get her old boyfriend. Again, Terry want to act like she better than everybody. So yes, Maxine was able to get to her man. The energy she gave off, she better than everybody and da-da-da. She's so smart. And that's what happened. When you think you top tier, somebody going to take your man. So yeah, don't feel sorry for Terry in the movie. But in the series, yes. Maxine jealous. Like, in the movie, you don't see that Maxine is jealous, but in the series, you see that. Because she's like, why would you let Ahmad have a party in your house? And da-da-da-da. And then she starts regretting being a housewife. So then it's like, you didn't really want Kenny Chadway. You didn't really want him. You just want Terry's life. And you start to see that in the series. Maxine being so jealous. You know, I'm very jealous of Terry. So Terry, yes, is the victim in the series. But in the movie, she's an asshole. She's an asshole. And then Charisma Monet, subscribe to her channel. Her stories are mad good. She said how her cousin didn't want to get a job. Rule number 1, y'all. If somebody comes in your house, first of all, before they even come in your house, if they don't have a job, don't let them come in your house. Period. I remember when I was 18 and I had a job. It wasn't paying much, but I wanted to live with my uncle. You know what my uncle said? Hell no. And I'm happy he said hell no, because it pushed me to get my own place. I didn't get my own place till 4 years after, but I'm glad he said no. And then my Aunt Jerry, which is my mother's aunt, she was living in the house. My grandmother had died by that time, and she was just living in a 2-family house by herself. So I was like, oh, you know, can I come through? She said no. And I'm happy they both said no, because it pushed me to get my own place. And it taught me, don't let nobody come in your house either. So it teaches you to be independent. It teaches you, because to be honest, If I would have moved in with my uncle, I don't think, or Aunt Jerry, my Aunt Jerry, I don't think I would have ever left, because they both had houses. They both, especially my uncle, he got a nice big house in Springfield. Terry has a house or whatever. Hers is in a really, really upscale neighborhood. Who's going to leave? I wouldn't leave either. I would not leave. I would stay right there. I would be working. Like me, I'm never the type to not work, but yeah, that was Terry's fault. You don't let nobody in you know you got a nice house. They're not gonna leave. Even if they do get a job and help you out, they're not gonna wanna leave. You know, and I'm happy even with my own family. They like, nope. And my mother was surprised, like, damn, you can't even spend the night? No. And it taught me to be independent. It really did. It taught me to get my own place. There's nothing like, God bless the child who can stand up and say, I've got my own. And those are my thoughts.